This all coming as the voice of the working class worker takes center stage in the race to the White House, and after Vice President Harris and former President Trump both failed to secure support of a key union. For the first time in nearly 30 years, the Teamsters, international union, declining to endorse either candidate for president. Now, keep in mind, the group of more than 1 million transportation workers has backed the Democratic nominee in every election since 2000. And in another twist, the union straw polling shows nearly 60% of its workers support former President Trump over Vice President Harris, although local branches of the union have come out in support of Harris. So let's get out to News Nation's Kelly Meyer live in D.C. Kelly, with the latest on how each campaign is working to try to shore up that support among working class voters.
Yeah, breaking with tradition for the first time in 28 years, the Teamsters decided to not endorse a candidate, but that doesn't mean the local unions are staying quiet. We're seeing members from battleground states of Nevada, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, and Michigan, where Vice President Harris will be today, publicly pledging their support for Harris. For example, 35,000 Teamsters across Western PA endorsed Harris, breaking with the decision by its parent union. That covers counties like Cambria, where Harris was just in last week and hopes to win. Many members see Harris as tied to President Biden, who proclaims to be the most pro-union president ever, or Union Joe. And he made history this time last year by joining striking auto workers on the picket line during the United Auto Workers strike in Detroit, Michigan last September, the first sitting president to appear on a picket line. Now, as for former President Trump, he is claiming Teamster support because of a poll released by the union ahead of the non-endorsement announcement. The poll showed nearly 60% of its members support Trump, while 34% support Harris. Previously, when Biden was the Democratic candidate, members backed Biden 44.3% to Trump 36.3%. But just after this was released, Teamsters General President Sean O'Brien came out and said neither major candidate was able to make serious commitments to our union to ensure the interests of working people are always put before big business. There was an appearance by Sean O'Brien at this summer's Republican National Convention that sparked rumors the union could be endorsing Trump. Now, the Teamsters has endorsed GOP presidential candidates before, even though more recently they have been supporting Democratic candidates. The Teamsters previously endorsed Nixon, Reagan, and H.W. Bush. Nichole.
Yeah, so that announcement coming yesterday, surprising, I think, a lot of people. What are the reactions from the campaigns?
Yeah, a lot to break down from all of this, and both of the campaigns right now are touting support from the local Teamsters. The Harris campaign saying more than 36 retired Teamsters also spoke at the DNC convention. They're highlighting that and that they endorsed Vice President Harris. A spokesperson for her campaign saying, quote, while Donald Trump says striking workers should be fired, Vice President Harris has literally walked the picket line and stood strong with organized labor for her entire career. Trump was touting his support at a rally in Uniondale just last night. Take a listen to this.
I was honored to receive the endorsement of the rank-and-file membership of the Teamsters. This hasn't happened in so many decades. We won the overwhelming majority of the local chapters and the members, and as a result, the national organization has refused to endorse the Democrat candidate for the first time in many, many decades. And I also want to thank Teamsters President Sean O'Brien, an amazing man, and all of the incredible rank-and-file Teamsters across the country, because this was a surprise.
So next hour, Nichole, we'll be talking about just what impact this may have on the race, if any, with this non-endorsement from the Teamsters Union. Nichole.
All right, Kelly Meyer live for us there in Washington. Kelly, thank you. Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find News Nation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.